Hello everyone and welcome to our POV test drive of the Lexus IS 350 F Sport. This particular one does have the dynamic handling package, and as you can see on the outside, it has a very aggressive look. We have the F Sport elements up front. We also have the triple beam LED headlights. We have the 19-inch rims that are included with the dynamic handling package, the nice mirrors, and then here is what the rear looks like. Let's go ahead and hop inside the cabin. So as you can see, you do have the gauges as well as the screen. Kind of makes for this quite cool look upon startup. And as far as other things in this cabin, as you can see, we do have the red leather interior, and as you can see, this is not just a red leather seat. You have it here on the door trim as well. So they've actually dyed this part of the door trim, this part right here, and the plastics underneath, which really makes for a all-encompassing red look. So maybe that's your style, but certainly is bold. As far as other features, we have a nice leather-wrapped steering wheel. We have the special ash wood and the dynamic handling package up here on the top, F Sport branding. We also have that wood trim over here. Quite cool vents right here. We also have the digital gauges that actually physically slide, as you can see right there. Over here on the side, we have our climate controls. You just swipe up and down to adjust the temperature. Your volume control. Your shifter. This also can control this infotainment right here. It is also a touch screen, so that's certainly a nice improvement. And here is your interior storage. But without further ado, I know what you're here for. It's going to be the drive portion, so let's go ahead and get to that. As you can see, we do actually have the traditional gated shifter, so some of you guys might appreciate that traditional touch. So before we start some of the more spirited driving in this test drive, let's go ahead and talk about the powertrain of this IS 350. As you can tell, this is not the new upcoming IS 500. Unfortunately, hopefully we'll get to sample that out at some point. But this is just going to be your traditional Lexus 3.5 liter V6 engine. It's producing 311 horsepower, and it's going to be routed through a 6-speed automatic transmission, since this particular model does have all-wheel drive. If you go for rear drive, that will throw in an 8-speed automatic. That's certainly something worth considering, because the 6-speed automatic is a little slow, especially for spirited driving. So definitely keep that in mind if you're purchasing one of these. Fuel economy is going to come in a little over 20 miles a gallon combined with the all-wheel drive system on this IS 350. Now I do want to point out we do have brake hold. We won't need it right now, but you do have that as an option. And right now we are just in the normal drive mode, so we can go ahead and toggle into the sport mode. So as you can see, when I switch into sport, the gauge cluster does change, and Sport Plus also gives you an even cooler gauge design. And if you're noticing right there, once you get to the high RPMs, it does go ahead and turn the gauge cluster red, just like in a Lexus LFA. So that's a pretty cool touch in this IS. And one thing the sport mode does do, it makes it a lot more ready for it to shift gears. As you can see, it shifted like 3 or 4 times going up that hill. Of course, the normal drive mode kind of tones that down, but I've really enjoyed driving in Sport Plus just because it's made the transmission seem a lot more lively in this IS. As you can see, it does also do a little bit of downshift rev matching. And if you're watching this video without headphones, we would go ahead and recommend watching with headphones, since you do have that full binaural 3D auditory experience, since we are recording with that. And also there's a full review on the channel if you're interested in knowing more about this Lexus IS 350. As far as the ride quality is concerned, you do have very solid ride quality. It's definitely going to be pretty sporty for the segment, but it really does soak up the bumps well. With the dynamic handling package, we're also going to have an adaptive variable suspension, which, of course, means it can be tailored to whatever drive mode you're in. So if you're in the comfort mode, it really works to just soak up the bumps. Right now we have it in sport mode, so we're feeling quite a bit of the road, but it really just goes to give you the best of both worlds. Going over the center line, as far as the lane keeping assist is concerned, it does kind of gently tug you back into your lane. It also vibrates the steering wheel, but it's in a nice way. It's not very loud like some of the other products that we've tested out. And we will go ahead, let's go ahead and try out the manual mode. It's quite responsive to the paddles. this thing is really just a joy to drive on a back road like this. Well guys, we really appreciate you watching this POV review and drive of the Lexus IS 350F Sport. If you made it this far, hopefully that means you enjoyed watching, so be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. We would really appreciate it. Also, leave us a like if you enjoyed. Here's a look at your backup camera, and we'll catch you next time as we sample more of the latest automotive delicacies.